I want to start off today's show just a little bit differently, okay? I want you guys to think hard for me, doing a fun little exercise, and name a random Ravens player in the chat down below, okay? I'm not talking like Lamar, Derrick Henry, Ray Lewis, Ed Reed. I'm talking like out of nowhere. None of us have thought about that name since 2010. The weirder you could get, the better. Hit me up in the comment section down below. On today's show, we're talking a little bit about a trade for the cheetah. Tyreek Hill was brought up in a trade, rumor article from Bleacher Report, and they think that Baltimore could target Tyreek Hill in the offseason of 2025. Here's what Maurice Moton had to say. He said, in recent years, the Ravens have been aggressive on the trade market. If the Ravens fall short of a Super Bowl appearance, knock on wood that doesn't happen, they could be a strong suitor for a wide receiver on the trade market. Wide receivers Flowers and Bateman posted career-high receiving numbers in multiple categories, but they aren't on the same tier as Hill in playmaking ability. And Maurice, you're not wrong there, right? I love Zay Flowers. I love what Rashad Bateman has been able to do so far this season in his third year. But guys, any of us would be silly to say they're on any kind of the same level as Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill will go down in history as a generational talent. He might not go down in history as a generational pass catcher, but what he's able to do with his speed after the catch, it's never been done before in the history of this game. He's the fastest player it seems that's ever played. He's the most electric player that seems he's ever played. And if you could pair him up with Lamar Jackson and Derrick Henry in the year of 2025, that would be absolutely unreal. And I get it, right? I know we're in the middle of a playoff run. We're talking trade rumors, but guys, it's the cheetah, right? This isn't just some run-of-the-mill player. This isn't just some guy who nobody's ever heard about. If Baltimore is truly interested in trading for Tyreek Hill, we're going to talk about it on the channel, okay? I'm talking about it. I want to hear what you guys think about it, though. Make the call for me. Should the Ravens trade for Tyreek Hill? If you think they should, type Y for yes. If you think they shouldn't, type in for no. Let me know. Comment section down below. Go hit it up. I want to hear what you guys have to say. Go comment. So the question is, where is this coming from, Joey? Did Bleacher Report, did Maurice just pull Tyreek's name out of nowhere? Out of a hat? Just out of thin air? Is this all just made up? No, it's not. Great questions. Thank you for asking them. But Tyreek Hill, after the last game of the season, kind of hinted and literally said that he wanted out. He said, I'm opening the door. I'm out, bro. It was great playing here, but at the end of the day, I got to do what's best for my career. I'm too much of a competitor to just be out there, okay? And then he tweeted this: love Finn Nation, blessing y'all, open doors for the Hill family forever, nothing but respect and love. Now, I don't know how that feels to you guys, but to me, that kind of feels like he's saying goodbye. It kind of feels like Tyreek Hill is here opening the door for an exit. Or rather, he's here trying to open the door for another team. But the thing about this is it's kind of gone up and down and all around, right? His agent's saying one thing, he's saying another thing. Nobody really knows what's going on. Let's hear from his agent, Drew Rosenhaus. He said he's committed to this Dolphins football team. He had an excellent meeting with Chris Grier and Mike McDaniel. He's the least guy people should be worried about for this organization, right? So when you hear that, initial thought is, okay, sounds like he isn't going anywhere, right? Sounds like maybe it was just a heat of the moment kind of thing. Sounds like maybe he was just frustrated, which they basically were out of the playoffs after that last game because things didn't go the way they needed them to, with other people losing and yada. You know the story. But it sounds like he's fine. But then Drew Rosenhaus says this: I've got to have that conversation with Tyreek on him wanting to be in Miami. I'm not going to speak for him. I'm not going to say he does or he doesn't. Now that, on the other side of the coin, it kind of sounds like he's gone. So you find yourself sitting here and questioning, which is it? Is he staying or is he leaving? Well, if he's leaving, Baltimore might be the destination, okay? I want you to take a guess, though. What is the percent chance that Hill is a Dolphin in 2025? Let me know. Comment section down below. Scale it 1 to 100. 100 meaning you're confident. No chance he's not. 1 meaning he's gone probably tomorrow. Okay? Let me know in the comment section down below. Coming up, we got a little bit of talk about what the trade with Baltimore might actually look like. Okay? What they'd give up, what they get in return, and what Tyreek Hill would look like in this offense. But before I get into that, I got to talk about our friends, our sponsor on today's video, and that is Game Time. Game Time is the sponsor of today's show, and the new year brings a lot of great things. Friends, food, celebration, but most importantly, the playoffs. There's nothing that can quite compare to the rush and excitement you feel watching your team win a playoff game, either at home or on the road. And if you want to have that memory for the rest of your life, that's where Game Time can help out. Game Time has an awesome new feature. It's called Game Time Picks. That makes getting tickets to see your favorite teams play live even easier. Game Time Picks filters out the fluff, show you only incredible deals on great seats, so you don't have to waste time searching through thousands of tickets. The tool highlights the best deals, including great and amazing deals, which are the highest value seats at the time. For some events, Game Time Picks also identifies a super deal, which is the best seat value in the venue. There's so many things that I love about Game Time, and I'm going to talk real quick about the views from your seats, okay? I can't tell you how many sporting events I've gone to, and there's a high railing in the way, or there's an extended press box, there's a random pole, and I'm kind of sitting there thinking, okay, I wouldn't have spent all this money on a ticket if I would have just been looking at nothing, right? That's the great thing about Game Time. You can see exactly what you'll be seeing from your seat before you even buy the ticket. Take the guesswork out of buying tickets with Game Time. Download the Game Time app, create an account, and redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off your first purchase. Terms apply. Again, create an account, redeem code CHATSPORTS for $20 off. Download Game Time today. What time is it? It's game time. So here's a little bit about what the trade would look like. This is how the trade was proposed from our friends over at Bleacher Report. So the Ravens would receive Tyreek Hill, and the Dolphins would receive the 2025 second-round pick, okay? Now, that's insinuating that they would do it in the next couple of months or so, and I don't think that's going to happen. I'll tell you a little bit more about that in just a little bit. But on first glance, guys, a second-round pick for Tyreek Hill, would you not do that in a heartbeat? Am I crazy for saying that I would do that in a heartbeat? Okay, and I get it. Tyreek Hill has ruffled some feathers in the past couple of months, okay? I get it. He doesn't have the best track record of off-the-field issues. Okay, I get it. There just was a video that was surfaced of him talking about not wanting to go into a game, right? The final game against the Jets. Jalen Waddle said, Cheetah, you out? Okay, I get all those things. But then at the end of the day, in all that same breath, it's still Tyreek freaking Hill. Okay, it's Tyreek Hill. And could you imagine those three guys together? Because I could. And it gives me absolute chills. So let's talk about the money aspect of it, okay? Because right now the Ravens have $12.72 million in cap space, okay? Now, that sounds like a lot because it's a lot more than they've had in the past. I'm going to talk about more money in just a little bit, but if you want to find something that's money, you found it right here on the Ravens Rundown. And we are in the middle of an AFC North sub-battle for this week, okay? We're in second place. Not bad, but we all know who the kings of the AFC North are. Help us pass our biggest rival. We're only 8 subs behind Steelers talk. They're at 183. We're at 175. Let's close that gap. Let's pass them. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. So Hill's contract details. Right now, he's a $27.7 million cap hit in 2025 if on the roster. But it's bigger if he's traded before June 1st. $28.3 million. It jumps all the way down for Miami to $12.7 million for the 2025 cap hit if he's traded after June 1st. He's under contract through 2026 with a $51.8 million cap hit. So you saw in that trade earlier, it said a 2025 second round pick for Tyreek Hill. Now my thoughts on that situation are they're not going to do that. That would weigh $16 million if they traded him before June 1st, okay? So from a Miami perspective, it might make sense to trade him, but it makes zero sense at all to do it before the 1st of June. But the thing from a Baltimore perspective is, in my opinion, if you trade for Hill, it's probably goodbye to Stanley. Okay, and I get it. You'd have to make an offer on him really before this, but if they're putting their sights on Tyreek Hill in the future, I don't know if they'd have the money to re-sign Stanley. Because if you look at the free agents, Patrick McCarry, Patrick Ricard, Nelson Aguilar, or Darius Washington, I think they only sign maybe 2 of those guys if they go for Hill. Maybe even if they go for Hill, they only sign 1 of those guys. Possibly, probably our Darius Washington, even though he's a restricted free agent. But still, I think you got to choose Ronnie Stanley or Tyreek Hill. And when you look at the stats, it kind of makes it hard not to choose Tyreek. Now, I know he didn't have the best season this year, 959 yards. He was under 1,000 for the first time in a very long time. But just look at 2023, 2022, and 2021. 1,200 yards in 2021, then 1,700 or more in both 2022 and 2023. And I said it before already, but could you imagine these 3 guys on the same NFL roster? Would this be like the first true big 3 in NFL history? Would Tyreek Hill to Baltimore be like the LeBron James, Bosch, and Wade to Miami back in like 2010? Those 3 on the same roster would be diabolical. Because look at their total yards. Just this year, Lamar, 5,087, 45 total touchdowns, was the number 1 highest ranked quarterback in PFF. Derrick Henry, 2,100, 18 total touchdowns. Tyreek Hill on a down year still had 1,112 total yards and 6 total touchdowns. And let's talk about that down year, okay? Because it came out recently from Drew Rosenhaus. He revealed that Hill broke his wrist in training camp and could have had season-ending surgery, but he didn't. He played through it. And that says a lot to me. That's not very wide receiver diva-ish, okay? I know the wide receiver diva stereotype fits Hill in a lot of areas. I think toughness, it doesn't. You saw in all those last 4 years, he played either 16 games or 17 games. That's very rare. He's very durable. He's tough. And that probably had to do with him having the first down year in his career in the last, 6 years or so? So my take on this whole thing, right? I would do it, but I don't think Miami will, okay? I don't think they're going to trade him in general, and if they do trade him, I don't think they would trade him to the biggest contender in the AFC to fortify that offense even more than it already is, okay? I got to admit, he looks pretty sweet in that Ravens uniform, but still, I don't know if they would do it, okay? What say you, though? Do the Ravens trade Tyreek Hill? Type T for trade, type T for pass on the whole thing. Let me know down below. Thanks so much for tuning in, everybody. This has been the Ravens Rundown. I am your guy, Joey Petersen. Really appreciate you guys tuning in. Make sure to give me that. Hit me up on social media. Make sure to hit that subscribe button. Until next time, see you then.